Good morning.
Hi, everybody.
I feel like we're news anchors.
I know, this is it's a new setup. We've done everything in the office to this point, and we're 15 feet back, which puts us in the kitchen at the island.
The light is better in here this morning. The office is just a little dark, maybe because it's earlier than we normally do it, and the sun just hasn't reached there yet. Anyway.
Nice change for you guys. Sorry for anyone who misses the giant yarn background, but hopefully the light will compensate for it.
You can actually see us, and that this is so official. You have your coffee.
It's not that official.
Live from TFA headquarters.
Little Stella mug.
Yeah. So, if anybody wants to know, this beautiful painting that you can see behind me, and Chris, is a painting by my best friend Sarah Christie. She's a painter, she's super talented, she lives in Halifax, and I'm her biggest fan. So, we're back. We took a hiatus, like a 3 or 4 month hiatus.
We were off. Yeah, that we weren't not working for 3 months,
right.
But centered around the few weeks we spent at the cottage. Yeah, we definitely didn't get around to too much podcasting.
Yeah, podcasting is a hard one for us to fit into our schedule, just because it's obviously easier for Chris and I. It's the only way it's possible for us to do it is if the kids aren't home, and they're not at daycare every day, and so. And when they are at daycare, we need to be working. So it's like a compromise.
Yeah.
We need to slice out a chunk of time to film a podcast. Anyways, it just wasn't happening. The last one I filmed, Chris was working and Micah was napping, and Rowan doesn't nap, so he was my co-host. And it involved a lot of editing. It's a lot of work. I'm happy to have that little memory, but regardless. But we're back. Also, there was another reason why we were so slow this summer.
Let's tell everyone about that.
We're having a baby!
Yeah, we got number 3 on the way.
Yay!
And
so excited.
there's one thing that is very distinct from our other 2 babies.
There's a big difference between this one and Rowan and Micah.
This is our first girl.
Girl!
Yeah, which is hugely exciting for both of us because for whatever reason, before we had kids, I had it in my head that our first one was going to be a girl, which is how I felt most way through the first pregnancy.
Yeah, you thought we were having a girl, and then the second pregnancy was so different from the first pregnancy that we thought for sure that one's going to be a girl. And then we had 2 boys, and then now we just thought we were parents of boys.
Right, I thought that was the only option that as many as we did, we would just keep making more boys and digging ourselves deeper in the hole. No, just kidding. They're both wonderful, but I'm going to let Stella out. Excuse me.
So it was a huge surprise. Obviously, we would have been thrilled with a boy, thrilled with a girl. It just adds definitely to the excitement that we have. A whole new something to experience, something to look forward to. Rowan is psyched. Because he really, really wanted a sister.
I don't know what we would have done if he had a brother. He told us in very plain terms that we already have a baby boy. We do not need another one. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're all pumped. So we're super excited. So then that fell over the summer. My first trimester was basically throughout the summer. And it really knocked me out. I was toast. And so...
Not feeling camera ready most mornings.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether the kids were here or not.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time sleeping whenever I could, and then just surviving, getting through, doing what had to be done. And unfortunately, the podcast didn't quite fit into that. But now I'm in my second trimester, feeling so much better and ready to take on.
Yeah, so we won't leave massive gaps like that anymore.
Hopefully.
And we appreciate everyone's patience.
Yeah, so we're back. So... the main question I've been getting ever since, or question, comment, reaction, since we announced on Instagram and the blog and stuff that we were having a baby girl, is what are you going to knit for the girl?
Right.
For your baby?
Which, by the way, the reaction to that was crazy. People were just so excited for us and so nice. And it's such an amazing thing that we've found an audience with TFA that you guys are so supportive. And it's just such a pleasure to share information.
Yeah, you know what? It's something actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Because while we were away, sort of taking time off this summer, I kind of struggled a little bit with how much of our family we should share. Should I keep it to just me? I share photos of the kids. Should I not? It's kind of a funny, like, I think just as a parent, as our kids are getting a little bit older, and then just as our following grows as well, I wonder, it's just making a show with how much should we share.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like so we took a little bit of time off this summer because it was summer, we were on vacation, because I was pregnant, not really feeling up to things, and it was just vacation time. But when we came back, I don't know, I feel really good about sharing.
Yeah.
It
makes it easy when everybody's just really positive, and they are supportive and understanding.
And it's a funny thing that we've sort of built ourselves this business that I think as a small business, and a lot of people who own small business can probably relate, but we built this business called Tanis Fiber Arts, named after myself.
Bit odd.
And Chris you were.
If I had a more unique name, I might have made it on there.
You are part of the business that I started, but it's really all about us. Like, we are the only people who work here. It's about us and our family. It's like, it's a family business, and like, we are our brand. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
So
sure.
It's a strange thing. Like, what do we like? If I just removed my personal life, like us, from the sort of like visual from the face of TFA, then it's no longer us. So it would be a different business. And then I think I would probably have to like rename it.
That is why the family stuff comes in. I think it's only fair to show people that side, because it's just two of us.
Anyway,
and we work from home, so I mean it's hard for we never really separate yarn and family life. Like, it's everybody's always in and around it.
Yeah. So, but I just want to tell everybody, I feel good about it. I feel comfortable with it, and I feel happy that people are just so happy for us. We're so lucky. Yeah, and also since as the following has grown, you sort of assume like the more followers you have, the higher chance there is that there can be a couple of trolls in there.
Sure.
And so sometimes when I'll post a picture, I wonder, I assume maybe there's going to be one or two kind of like weird comments where I'm like, are you even a fan of TFA? But there's not.
No.
People are just like, I think that there's no knitting trolls.
Yeah.
Anyways, so just thank you. We appreciate all the love that you guys have sent us about our expanding family and your support for TFA and your understanding that we took time off this summer. It's been amazing. So back to Baby Girl Knits. I haven't knit anything for the baby yet. We've only known that we're having a daughter for a couple of weeks, so there hasn't been that much time. Regardless, I haven't cast anything on for her because two reasons. Main reason, I'm just not certain what my baby girl style is. Like, I don't know what she's going to wear. I have no idea.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
I don't think she's going to be like crazy girly.
Shopping for both boys, we both felt, as you go through a store, that there was more variety and like cooler options in girl clothes.
Yeah, I felt like you walk into a store and it's like 35% boy. What's that? 65%. 65% girl. And the girl is so cute and colorful, and the boy is all navy and camo and brown. And we were just sort of like always felt like there wasn't as many options for boys. Also, I'm not going to go on a huge rant, but it's ridiculous that all clothes are gendered. There's like no unisex clothes, literally. No clothes marketed for girls are appropriate for boys. They don't have plain t-shirts for girls. Anyway.
Yeah. It's butterflies or fire trucks. There's no in between.
No in between. But that's a whole other
So that's not how it feels now, going around with a girl in mind.
So now we're shopping for girl, and I'm like, there's so much girl stuff, and it's all crazy. Like, it's so over the top. Anyway, so I just don't know. I don't know what we like. I don't know what she's gonna be like. Maybe she's gonna be like.
You need to get a read on it first. Yeah. You got to meet the kid.
And we didn't know the gender of our first two kids, so a lot of our stuff, our baby stuff, is unisex. So I just don't really feel that much pressure to like get all this girl baby stuff. But I do have baby girl knits in reserve. Since we did not know if Rowan was going to be a boy or a girl, I had a whole pile of knits that I had knit for him in case he was a girl. So I'm going to show those just so nobody's concerned with baby girl. I've actually shown this before on the podcast, which is super funny. It's my favorite little watercolor sweater. So she'll have this. This is a free pattern. It's my own pattern called the Blank Canvas Baby Sweater.
What's the yarn on that? Is it like hand spun or just a bunch of things?
It's just like a whole bunch of different fingering weight yarns.
Yeah.
Faded, as they would say
Very
these days.
And it's got, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a button on each side here, and then an inch past that, that's all.
It's like a boat neck. The whole top is open. Which
yeah, which is what you need to get a giant baby
Chris
head.
is obsessed with giant baby heads. Everything.
They look like cartoons. They look like balloon people.
Yeah, they are. And then this sweet little sweater. I love this little sweater. It's called Cascade. I can't remember the name of the designer off the top of my head, but I'll put it in the description box. It's got these beautiful little petals down the front of the button band. It's absolutely gorgeous. I knit this one in our Dove colorway.
Yeah, that looks like a little bit of a darker skein of Dove.
I mean, it's from like 5 or 6 years ago, and I probably knit it from a reject skein.
Super nice.
Because I normally grab skeins to knit for myself that we can't sell. So this one I knit for Rowan, and you can tell, you know that I absolutely love it because I had knit it, like I said, like 5 years ago, and we've known a lot of people who've had little girls since then, and I've never been able to like part with it. I assumed when I was knitting it that, oh, if we have a boy, I'll just give this to somebody, like when we...
Right, so what you guys are seeing, like the distilled essence of what Tan couldn't give away in terms of baby girl knits. So that's like actually a really good way to do it. You know, the ones that
you know it has passed the test. You know I love it.
Yeah, she's attached to all of these because she couldn't bear to give them to all the people who knew that had girls over the last 5 years.
Which is harsh. My brother had 3 girls. Although one of them was born before Rowan.
And well, now that you're coming into these dresses, they all have dresses.
Yeah,
like
they have
this.
dresses. I've knit them other things.
Yeah.
It's just these specific colorways I wasn't able to part with. This beautiful little dress is the first little dress I ever knit. It's called the Clara dress. It was in a really, I love this shade. It was a one-of-a-kind colorway. It's really, really beautiful. Absolutely love it. Keeping it from my baby.
Beautiful.
Then I have 2 little sproutlet dresses. Do you want to hold one?
Yeah, sure. Look at the
So this, I'm holding Buttercup. Chris is holding Pink Grapefruit. This is a little dress I designed for my brother's first daughter, Annika. When she was a baby, I made her this little dress.
That's
She's
still
wearing this one in the pattern shop.
That's still what I think of when I see these.
No.
She wore them for a long time. Actually, what they did
So she has this one, she wore this one in the photos, but it just fit her in the photos, so I didn't give it to her because I was like, A, it won't fit her for very long, and B, I want it.
But that's the thing about these cute little dresses is babies grow so fast and you don't have an occasion to put them in a hand knit every day. But these, well, we do, obviously.
Okay.
Now, maybe everybody doesn't, though. And these work as a dress when they're tiny, and then with leggings, they work as like a long shirt, right?
A long shirt. Tunic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Leggings and tunics. You're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready for
I've
a
been
girl.
studying.
Yeah, so Annika got one, and I made her one in a little bit of a bigger size in our spearmint colorway. And all 3 of my brother's daughters wore it, and it's very cute and special, and I love it. So now I have 2 for a little girl to grow into. This one will fit her when she's like very small. Actually, what's kind of funny about all these knits is she's set until she's like a chubby 3-month-old.
Yeah.
Like, the first little watercolor one is definitely just a newborn size. They're maybe up to 6 months. It depends how big she is, but anyhow.
But that's pretty much exactly how long you need before you decide what colors and styles are appropriate, right?
Plus a ton of the boys' stuff. I mean, I have so much stuff that I've made for the boys that is.
There's none of the things they have that she won't be able to wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she'll be fine. She will be fine, everybody. So that's a couple, just so nobody's worried. I have a few things set aside for her. Oh, can I mention what I'm wearing?
Of course.
Do you mind? So this sweater that I'm wearing is called Riley by Suvi Samola. And it's a new sweater that I just finished this summer. Actually, this shows you exactly how exhausted I was before we went on vacation. I had literally like 1.5 inches of the last ribbing on the second sleeve left to do.
Yeah, I remember that. It felt like a sign of the apocalypse.
And I didn't finish it. It was like I had like 2 days to finish it before we left to the cottage, and I would have brought it with me, like, you know, and if I was my regular self, I would have brought the sweater with me. We would have taken like shots on the beach of me wearing it, but I couldn't even muster the energy to knit an 1.5 inches of ribbing. So it was really funny. We came home from vacation, and like when I started to feel a little bit better, I picked up this sweater. I knit for about 12 minutes. I was like, I'm done.
In retrospect, it would have been pretty gallant if I did it for you. I should have really dropped the ball there.
It's okay. But this is knit in a almost crystal colorway. So we did a colorway for our club this year in January called Crystal, which I am obsessed with and have used in like every single knitting project that I've made since January.
Yeah, it comes up a lot.
I love it. And this is not exactly it because it's a bit more, there's more gray, it's a bit darker, but it's very, very similar, and it's just stunning, and I'm just completely in love with it. And Crystal will definitely be available widespread in Etsy updates or whatever however we decide to do it in the new year, in 2018, which is coming up sooner than you think. So so for anybody who's not in the club who has been coveting Crystal, do not worry. I will definitely make it available. So love the sweater. I'm gonna do a full. I haven't done like the FO shots or done a blog post about it yet. So look for that where you'll be able to see more. This is the problem with the island. You can't see too much. But
you
basically,
have to walk right around so they can see.
Then I'm gonna be too close. Anyhow, it's super positive ease. Be great for the pregnancy. There's a beautiful panel up the back. The whole the back is all like an open work mesh. We'll have a lot of detail shots when we do the FO post. Oh, and since I'm standing, what did I give you guys? Here's my little belly. There's a baby in there.
Definitely there.
So that's it for what I'm wearing. I really like it, and I'm excited to take, maybe today we could take shots since I spruced up for the podcast.
Yeah, it's probably a great day for it.
Okay, I have something else I want to show.
Okay.
And you want to talk about this a little bit.
Oh yeah.
These socks. This is a finished pair of socks that I made. And I knit them using a sock blank that Chris dyed.
Right.
The first ever sock blank that we've worked with. Super interesting experience, and also super interesting feedback because I decided to sample a double knit sock blank, so like when you dye it, you get 2 threads that are exactly the same. So you get 2 exactly matching socks like this, which is awesome for socks, would also be awesome for knitting like a sweater, so your sleeves would be exactly the same. It would take some finicking because you'd have to like stripe the 2 throughout the yoke, knit your sleeves with one of each strand, and then stripe for the body. Like sock blanks are really
You lost me already.
Yeah. And so anyhow, I love the results. Like I totally am obsessed with the finished sock. Wasn't totally crazy about knitting with the kinked yarn. Not my favorite thing.
Right.
But I do think that it's worth it for the finished socks. And I did block these, which I don't always block my socks when I finish them. Because it all comes out in the wash anyways. But
winding it too bears mentioning. It was a 2-person job, and
because you have 2 strands and you have to wind them both at the same time.
Yeah.
So like to make them into a ball, Chris and I sat there and like each had to go like in sync, like winding the exact same way.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more work. I mean, a single sock blank would be different. However, it's also a lot more effort in the dyeing because it's just a different process.
It was a bit complicated to dye. It was rolling at the edges and stuff.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
to try to make sure that you get it all saturated. But
I feel like to get a random speckle distribution and like the exact same gradient is kind of a really cool effect.
It's super cool. We're just I'm still uncertain about single blank versus double blank. Is it worth the effort?
Very uncertain how many I could get done in a day.
Yeah, and also the feedback was interesting. Some people were like, oh, sock blanks are so fun. And then other people were like,
I hate sock
I
blanks.
hate sock blanks. So I'm like, so polarizing anyhow. So still uncertain. I really love these socks, and I kind of want more sock blanks to knit for myself. So
we'll see.
I mean, I'm feeling like
it's not the last of it. Something will come up.
Yeah, I don't think I'm fully over it. I want to experiment with it a little bit more. The other thing is I feel like they're gonna have to be really expensive. Well, not really, but it's just expensive for a pair of socks. And if you're doing a double knit sock blank specifically for socks, then you're asking people to spend a lot of money for socks, which just seems like, because they have to be expensive because of how much more labor is involved than dyeing a regular skein of sock yarn the way that we do. However, you cannot get speckled, gradient, this exact style. Like there's beautiful gradient yarns out there, but not exactly like that. I mean, I don't know. You know, we're gonna continue on over. What else did I want to show? You know what? I have 2 more things I want to show.
2 more? I only see 1 there. Your little pop.
You know what? I'm gonna save it. I have nothing else to show.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I got. Because
I feel like I should have worn a knit then that I could have talked about.
Because we had something else big we wanted to talk about.
We do.
You know what?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, I wanted to mention, because we were talking about baby, we talked about baby knits and all this stuff. I wanted to mention that our babies are conceived via IVF.
Oh, yes.
In vitro fertilization, if you don't know what IVF stands for. It's in vitro. It means we have to conceive with medical help because I cannot conceive naturally. And I wanted to mention it because I posted about it, I think it was back in June maybe. I did a blog post and an Instagram post where I mentioned that we were IVF patients, and the feedback, again, this is a feedback post, was overwhelming. Like, again, it was one of these big things where it was, I wanted to share, I wanted to put it out there, just because I feel like I share so much of my family, and from the outside, it really looks like things are super easy for us. In terms of
social media.
No, in terms of procreation, it looks like it's easy for us to have kids.
Sure.
Because I'm 33 years old, we're having our 3rd kid, they're all relatively close in age. I had my first kid when I was 28, when I was young, like it was just easy peasy. 2 years later, I had another kid. And I feel like probably most people, if you've never suffered with infertility, you probably didn't even register. Like you probably wasn't something that you thought about. But if you're somebody who's maybe going through something, who's been struggling, and then you look at us and you think, oh, maybe you don't think anything of it. Basically, it just broke my heart to think that people could possibly look at us and think, oh, it's so easy for them.
Yeah, well, what you put out in terms of social media and, you know, the way the internet works, yeah, you tend to focus on the
positive,
nice and easy images, and we have beautiful kids. There was the fact that there's a lot of hospital visits and worry and anxiety and uncertainty in between those.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. It wasn't super, super easy. And when you shared that with everybody, so many people had similar stories, were able to relate, and could take something away from that. You know
what I think it is? Because my experience, I'm emotional. It took me like I've known about my infertility issues for over 5 years, since we started trying to have Rowan. And it took me this long before I felt comfortable to share it. It can be something that's excruciating to talk about, particularly if you're talking about it with family or friends who haven't been through it themselves, even though maybe they know somebody who has, or they have a relative who has. It's just not the same. People are compassionate and sweet and kind, and they try to be helpful, but it's not the same. And it can be hard. Like, you can feel like you're really alone and that there aren't people that you can talk to. And so I got a lot of messages from people who were at the beginning of their sort of infertility journey, not sure where it was going to take them, whether they were going to end up with a family like we have. She was like, I'm not, like, nobody really, I haven't been able to open up to many people yet because I just don't feel comfortable talking to people, but I feel like I feel like I am having a conversation with you via social media without even talking, just sharing, like just she read my post, she felt like I was speaking to her, and she was like, yes, I get it, you get it, and now there's somebody on the internet that I connect to. And I was like,
yeah, it's a really
so touched, because
really nice side effect of being in our position, that you can have that, because it's
heavy.
It's not that you want to keep it from your family, it's just, there's so
hard.
much.
It's just really hard.
It's on your mind constantly, and you don't necessarily want to bring it up.
And then for us, once things sort of started working out, and we had Rowan and we had Micah, and then I sort of felt like maybe a lot it was a lot easier for me to talk about, because there was a lot less sort of pressure on the whole situation, I suppose, or whatever. But then how do you start that conversation? Like, just out of the blue, people who you've known for years, people who have known you through your pregnancy, and you're just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm infertile. And you're like, oh, like how did that come up over coffee? Or like, anyways, it doesn't really come up, so you have to just like say it. So I just wanted to put it out there. I'm really happy that I did. I don't know how much more like I really necessarily have to say about it, or because everybody's experience is so different, takes them down different paths, and has different end results. Like ours has ended incredibly well, or ended. It's not over, I suppose, but it's we're lucky we're gonna have 3. Biological children. Like as if everything was normal. And it's not like that for everybody, and so it's very difficult. I can't speak about it universally, other than to say that it's universally terribly difficult. But now sometimes it works out, and I hope that helps somebody.
Yeah, anybody that is going through the same situation or is at any stage of that process, if you can take something from Tan's story, our story, and get some comfort from it, then that makes it completely worthwhile having shared it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody, once again, like, you guys are the best, and there was nothing but positive comments and support that came from it, right? So every time we have shared family stuff, it's always been rewarding. It's been like proved to be the right decision. Yeah, because of how good you guys are. Knitters are a great community, right?
That's a fact. Yeah. So I don't know. I suppose that's kind of all I had to talk about today. I just wanted to.
That's a big one, yeah. Oh, one more thing. And on a positive note, we have a big update coming up soon, right?
Sure.
Depending on when we get this up.
I'll get this up soon. I'll get this up quickly. So we're working on a big Etsy update. Yeah, lots of speckles, lots of sweater colorways, lots of sweater quantities and sweater weights, like worsted weight, DK weight, so that everybody can knit their beautiful fall sweaters. Probably like all speckles, right? Like a lot of speckles.
It's super close to all speckles, I think, like unless in the last couple of days of dyeing we changed the pace, but it's my favorite type of dyeing. Like, we come up with a little game plan, I go out in the morning, and by the end of the day you've got 6 or 7 new colorways that we've never done.
It's incredible.
It's so much fun. It's like very invigorating.
So much room for variation. Like you could do a sort of, I don't know, like primary multicolored speckle. You could do 6 different ones, like just by using 1 or 2 colors a bit more, or just whatever. Yeah,
or you take a color combo that's a very similar base to something we've done before, and then you just throw it off by putting, strange combos of speckles on top of it.
But like that's kind of like a double-edged sword, because it's also often very difficult to reproduce exactly, because you can
getting way better
one thing slightly different and suddenly it's a whole new speckle.
Yeah, I'm getting way better at writing down the very specific details of what I do.
So we've already got, the office is full of beautiful skeins, and it's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be a big update, since it's been a while since we've done one, and we're going to try and keep them coming frequently throughout the fall, because they're really like our passion.
Yeah. And I feel like
thing to do are these updates.
I feel like grouping a couple close together is a good way to do it, because some people don't.
Yeah, if you miss one, then hopefully
what they wanted from the first one, and then it's nicer to have one.
Well, I like that too, because then if we do one and there's one colorway that is clearly a winner, like that everybody wanted, nobody got, then we know right away, okay, do a ton of that for the next one.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. So we're going to try to stay on top of those updates this all fall, so that's
later on this week, right?
Maybe next week. We'll see, because I want to make sure we have enough inventory.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're going to work hard on that this week, and then I'll be sending out a newsletter, sign up for the newsletter, I'll be posting it on all my social media, and the exact date and time of that update, with a whole bunch of teaser shots of all that's going to be, all the colorways featured. We've already got a lot of colorways, and there's some really good ones, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that.
I should probably get out there soon.
Get to work,
yeah.
So there you go. So that's today's podcast.
Thank you guys for being patient over the summer. We had a great one. I think the the timing was perfect for Tan to get a little rest there.
Yeah, it did work out well.
Into I won't say an easier phase of the pregnancy, but like
yeah, it's easier for me.
a little bit.
It's easier
yeah,
for sure.
The first one's
good.
rough, the first trimester.
Yeah. Now it's all
smooth sailing for a while.
sailing. Yeah.
So we're back in business. Look for updates coming up really soon and a busy fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You hate sweater weather.
Not today, but pretty soon, right?
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Signing off from TFA.
I like it at the desk. It's nice.
Feel official?
Yeah.
Feel legit?